Okay. Here we are. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. So I was going to just talk shite for a little while. You might have seen all sorts of crap recently on the news, and the world's in a bad place, I guess. But I'm sat here, I've got my two cats. Everyone's away, except me, so that's good. We're getting peace and quiet. I thought I'd just talk shite. So I was sort of thinking about recording some new music coming up. And I was thinking of doing like a drums, bass, piano, classical guitar with some like musical journeys, instrumental musical journeys that are like a build and go into little sections and like quite progressive and imaginative. So it's about getting around to that because the studio's here. I've not recorded much for a while, so I've had a bit of time off because I've been, let's see, recording since 1978. Quite a long time, really. In various different ways and forms. It started with 2 tape recorders, 2 little cassette tape machines where I'd play something and record it on one, then play that back, then play along with it and record on the other one. So it's sort of like bouncing, really basic multi-tracking by using 2 machines. That's how I started. And then went along before I ended up in a studio and doing all that. And developing audio engineering skills along the way. So I've really, a lot of it has been about an interest, as sort of special interest really in audio recording, but definitely with, the guitar sort of leaning towards guitar and the music that I write. But the actual recording of it and all has been more of a sort of a special interest throughout my life. Right? And I've really, I'm mostly self-taught. Never went to any college or anything about audio engineering or music production. It's always been hit or miss, trial and error, listening, recording, trying different stuff, and quite often it's self-indulgent, not necessarily, but over time you learn, of course, So there's that. So I'm going to get back into recording shortly. Sometimes I struggle a bit because I suppose struggle, whatever you want to call it. It's about for quite a few years. I suppose from '97. Let's see, if you go from 1979 when I've made the first proper studio recording to 1995, that was kind of one era. Then I became a Christian and went to church in that. 95, and I gave up music for a couple of years, and then I got it back in 97, and I decided to give myself 5 years to have a real crack at like a solo career, because I never thought of that before. I hadn't got my shit together before, so I suppose from 97 up until the end of last year, I took time off after that, so 97 to 24, what's that? A bit more than 5 years, right? But in that time, over the last few years, trying to make it work and to earn a few quid or earn some money from it, and that, not to make it like, if you're going to put a lot of time into something, if it is a hobby, it's just something you enjoy doing. Or if it's a career, you're trying to make money, right? And you've got to survive. So there's a balance in that. I think as a hobby was probably a better thing, because trying to make money out of it is really frustrating. It's hard work, especially if you're on your own. So I've been signed twice. Long story, I won't go into too much of that. But I am independent, totally independent. Don't have a team. It's just me. I do almost everything. So, and a lot of the time you end up responding to copyright strikes, and whenever I put a video up with my music on it, the distributor that I use uses services of another company that kind of they scan the internet constantly, and as soon as your music turns up, they then start collecting the right, or they'll put a copyright collection thing in. Then that company is supposed to collect the money that fined, and then pay my distributor, who then pays me. But it don't actually happen, because I've asked time and time again about that, and there's certain you can on YouTube it does, because I can actually sign up for them to collect. So if you or if any other people use my music in their YouTube videos, they'll find it and they'll collect it, and that's all right service. Well, I don't expect anyone to use my music much, and normally when people do, they ask, but that's something that happens. But then there's the rest of the world. So there's YouTube, and then there's all the other, like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. There's so many other places, right? And this company will scan the internet and collect money from everywhere, and then it's supposed to then get fed to my distributor, then who pays me. And I've asked the distributor how much they've collected, and they can't tell me. And they don't. In fact, they don't actually give you the money. But I know that for a fact, because they started to intercept Facebook videos. And if I put my music out on a Facebook video and upload it, within like 10 minutes, there's a copyright thing, and a message coming up saying the rights holder is collecting, this is not a copyright strike, but the rights holder is collecting the revenue for this. And it also, then you get like, because Facebook, for instance, and what they all are, they're policed by AI, and depending on what the type of content you do, you get different scores to how many people see it, etc. And if you don't share original content, then you get punished, and the algorithm will reduce how many people see what you do. So what actually happens with this company then that is doing this is the side effect of it is that it reduces your channel's reach and that, and then impacts on everything. So they're actually really bad. It's really bad practice. Now I think for the distributor that I use, if there's 100,000 artists on there, which is probably more than that, for 99.9% of them, they won't be monetizing their own channels. They're not that far advanced in what they're doing. So for them, if they actually got the money, it would be quite a good thing, to say that's money they would never know how to collect, and it will be collected on their behalf. But like I said, it doesn't actually show up as I've asked. But I know that we don't get it, because I've seen the difference. Like Facebook pays me directly, and when they start to intervene and then suddenly become the rights holder, now Facebook don't pay me directly anymore, they're paying them. And I know what I used to get, and I don't get that anymore, and they're getting it instead. And then that money doesn't appear in my account, and the distributor can't tell me how much. So obviously we're not getting it really. And so that really pisses me off, because we do a lot of work. I mean, it's been a lot of work. When I share a piece of music up and some of the stuff I've done, it's like 50 years of work, 50 years of learning how to play the instrument, and experimenting with audio, spending a lot of money, over the years. It's crazy to think the equipment that I've got. Didn't buy it all at once. It's been an accumulation over time, but it's a lot of money that you spend, a lot of money plus your time. And then for someone they're just like coming along and thieving it, and it really annoys me sometimes. And then there's things you can do, like I could change. I've been thinking about moving distributor, but that kind of, the way the marketing stuff that I've done in the past relies on the logarithmic hacking. I won't go into it too much, but I'll give you an example. Right, Parisian Walkways. I've got a version of Parisian Walkways. My version of Parisian Walkways that's on Spotify has been spelt incorrectly, and which is done amazingly well because every single person in the world that spells it incorrectly finds my track. So I've got a huge fan base of dyslexic people. But do you know what I mean? Though it's spelled, and you wouldn't. I'm dyslexic myself, right? So I'm not having a go at anyone. But it works. These things work, and then you end up on playlists based on this sort of, this whole logarithmic thing and all that. And if I was to take my music down from one distributor and put it up with another, there's a way of doing it, right? I can re-upload all my music via a different distributor using the same codes and everything. And if everything's exactly the same, then what you can do is, once it's all live, you can then take down everything from the old distributor and then just shut that down, right? That's fine, that's doable. But what happens is that you will lose your place in these playlists. And that is what has the positions in some of these playlists and that, because of my logarithmic hacking marketing techniques, would all be erased and be starting again. And that's like, I don't want to do that. So, and I've tried talking to them as well, and they don't care because I'm just a one person out of 150,000 artists or 100,000, God knows how many artists they've got, and it's giving them, I suppose that their business model is that they don't make $1 million from one artist, they make $1 from 1 million artists. Do you know what I mean? So it works for them. And I think also a lot of artists don't hit a threshold to actually get paid. So it's a way of mopping up the change, but making quite a lot of money because these companies collect for a lot, hundreds of thousands of artists. And a big majority of them won't ever get paid because they don't hit you. There's thresholds to get paid. And you'll be surprised how long it takes to actually earn the money to hit a threshold if you're only getting a few streams. Well, some of them will never hit the threshold, so they're never going to get paid. But that's just like, so what? That's the industry. It's better than nothing, I suppose. Not like the good old days when people used to go and buy records and that. But no point in complaining about it. Here we are. This is where we are. So, I've been really angry lately. You might have posted a few times on Facebook saying I'm going to take everything down, and you get frustrated because they do this stuff, and it's like it's unfair because the artists, we don't have a lot of time to spend chasing bloody copyright all the time now. I'd much rather be making music, and it gets you down a bit because they just sort of just winging their way in and just bulldozing your content where your figures go down and that. And it's I need to sort of, rather than fight them directly, I think I need to find a way of working around it. There will be a way, and maybe the way of working around it is to create videos of music that's not been released. So then it won't trigger the software. The software scans the internet all the time, and as soon as it matches your sound sample through identification methods and all that, then it triggers a thing, and then they start collecting blah 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 blah. So what we could do going forwards is to record some new stuff or some old versions, re-record some versions of old stuff, blah blah blah, and put content out that's not out there. That would work. Maybe that's what I need to do. Not get it's not worth fighting them, right? Because they don't care. Like I said, they represent hundreds of thousands of artists, and they don't give a fuck. They do not give a fuck about you. And what? In fact, sometimes what you can do is you put a dispute in. So what happens, especially on Facebook, right? I put this happened last week. I put a couple of little videos out, which are small versions of what stuff I've already done. You can trim them and create a reel, and then within 10 minutes, boom, there it is. The message comes up saying that the rights holder, your video contains content, and the rights holder are claiming this, blah blah, So then I go and you can do a dispute. So quite often do a dispute, and there's one of the company, the main contender is a company called Contour New Media, based in Germany. They scan a lot of different publishers, distributors use their services because they've got really shit hot software. They scan everything and it will pick up, and then they'll then claim the revenue created by that. And then apparently pass it on. Well, they do pass it on, but then the distributor don't give it yet. They just put it in their back pocket. Or it goes in their holiday account, holiday bonus or something. Whatever. We don't get it, Oh, I know we don't. So, anyway, what was this? Where am I at? Yeah, Contour New Media. There they are. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so you can put a dispute in, right? So I put a dispute in, saying, "Oh, I'm the rights holder. I wrote the music. I recorded it." This is the thing. With a lot of this stuff, I wrote the music, I recorded it, produced it, I did the artwork, I did the mastering, I've done all the marketing, I've done everything. Right? It's crazy. 100 jobs, and I'm just one bloke. And then they come along and go, "I'm the rights holder." And they're fucking not. I'm the right. Excuse me, And and then I put a dispute in, and then they've refused that they refused the dispute, and they continue to claim it. That's what gets me, and it's like it's obvious it's me. I'm putting a claim in. It's my name on it. I'm the person performing and writing it. How can they dispute it? It's just freaking... So, apart from shiting in an envelope and send it to them, there's not a lot you can do. So. But I'm thinking anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to record some new stuff or new versions, various different things. At the minute, I've I just love the sort of the classical guitar, piano, bass, drums, like a musical journey idea. It'd be nice to record it with me performing rather than these fancy videos that I do normally, because it's just about what's what. My recording space is not ideal just now, it's for one reason or another. My recording space is hardly I put green screen in there. So you've seen some of the stuff in the past of what I do. I've recorded me performing, and then I'll use the sort of video editing technology to put me in somewhere else. Some of it looks really bad, but some of it looks interesting. You might have seen the video of me walking on the moon with the astronauts and that, of me experimenting with green screen. Crazy ideas. It's like for a lot of work though, all that. And so I don't know. I think I'm just going to record some music, and we'll put it out as as a way to keep giving you content and stuff. I know a lot of you like the music, don't you? It's nice music, isn't it? Really, don't make horrible noise. Some of it's a horrible noise, maybe to some people, but I think it's like got its place in the world. We've done quite well, being in the sort of over the last couple of years, the top 50 artists in the world of certain genres. That's not bad, not really. And we've earned a bit. We've earned a few quid doing it as well. So I'm not complaining. I'm definitely not complaining. We've done all right. It's just like, I suppose it's because I'm on my own. I think the same thing happened to Prince. I'm not comparing myself to Prince because obviously he's like a mega star and people absolutely love him. But similar, but I'm saying that similar things have happened to him. When he got out of his record contracts and went completely independent, he spent most of his time fighting court cases and that because they all try to sue him. And it's a bit like that. If you have a little bit of success with something, all of a sudden everyone's after your money. And no one's interested. But when you're not doing very well, if you put a video out, there's a couple of views and you fit in with all the noise. No one's really interested, right? But as soon as you do a track, my Canon Rock track got some TV and that, and all of a sudden it's like a load of grief. That if you were signed, there's a team of people that deal with all that. And they work 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, right? When you're not signed and it's just you, then you end up having to do all that. And I'm going to let my cat out. You can hear him in the background. Hey. They wonder what's going on, don't they? Yeah? So that's that. So I think I'm going to record a bit of some different versions of what I do, or write some new music. And it was interesting. We come back from Rome back in December, and we ended up in this airport, and there was these little black, and there was grand pianos, beautiful grand pianos dotted along the bit where you wait to board the plane, you know. And so I sat at this, and we'd been moved. It was a bit of a shit journey because we'd moved from one airport to another, and there was delays and cancellations and blah blah. And everyone was knackered, you know, fed up. And I sat at this piano and I played the piece, you know, like chronology, the piano. Not very well. I didn't practice much, and piano's not my thing really. So it's very delicate, but it sounded beautiful. This piano sounded beautiful, and plus the greatly echoey hall that we were in, you know, one of them, you know what they're like, them airport places. And then everyone clapped and all, and some people said it was just amazing, and it was, but I suppose it probably, for their experience, it was me, like that fug, you know, with like a t-shirt on, I come up to this piano, and they probably thought I was going to play chopsticks, right? So I went, diddle it, that's what you normally get, isn't it? So I sit down and play this piece, and they're all, it was great, man. I thought to myself, you know, you forget that sometimes what you can do, what music's about, how it can really move people. You can do, it's such a powerful thing. And I think it's time to get back. I want to do some more. And I want to try and concentrate on creating like music and not having to fight with copyright battles and fucking market and try to make money. Who cares about fucking money? I want to, we'll just make a bit of music and that, and let's do it. So look out, I'm going to be doing that, and plus I'm going to sit and rant sometimes. So why not? So you'll get these live things. It won't be so much music, but me just sitting here talking shite and ranting. Why not? I talk to myself most of the day anyway, so might as well talk to you. So that's me. I'm going to go now. I've enjoyed doing this. I'm going to start doing some more of this stuff in the future, and we'll see. Okie dokie.